Okay, getting back into historic. I'm going to do some Narset commit. Let's take a look at this really quick. So this is an amazing combo. It's super exciting to me. So you play Narset Part of Veils. It's a planeswalker that says each opponent can draw more than one card each turn. Now let's look to Memory. After you cast Commit, you can cast Memory as an aftermath card from your graveyard. Each player shuffles their hand at graveyard into their library and then draws 7 cards. So, if you have Narset in play though, your opponent loses their entire hand and they draw 1 card. You lose your hand and draw 7. That's a huge card advantage swing. So I'm going to try to get this combo in place. I only have 3 of each. The original deck had 4 copies of Uro, so I just replaced it by putting 2 more Explorers in there and 2 Brainstorms. Let's give it a shot. Narset Commit. After that, I'm going to do some Jeskai control, which, according to MTG Arena Zone, is the Tier 1 historic deck right now, after they banned Time Warp, which happened just a couple days ago. I didn't craft any Time Warps before it got banned because I was not paying attention. Okay, so we've got a Haze of Pollen to put off the game. We've got a Censor, which is... oh man, it's like that land. What's that land called? Counter spell unless its controller pays 1. We've got to commit memory. We've got some land. Let's just keep it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that much. Let's just start up with an island and see what they do. Plains and nothing. One of the things that I don't completely know yet is how to decide whether to keep a hand or not. That's good. So let's play another land. We need another island. This might do. Come on, island. Lotus Field. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice 2 lands, tap to add 3 of any color. Yeah, let's do it. Let's sacrifice the island and the forest. Play the forest. Should I have sacrificed 2 forests? Okay, we're going up against a human deck. Okay. Play a human, get a human. Oh, that one again, Thalia. Boo. Okay, so I have 3, 4, 5, 6 available right now. So let's do this. Let's commit. Should I commit their Bugler? Commit is an instant. I don't have to make that decision right now. Commit costs 4. Narset costs 3. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's pay life to get this into play. We're not going to pay Narset, but we're going to have Commit open and Censor open. Okay? Okay. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4 for Commit, 1, 2 for Censor. So if they spend all their mana to cast something, I can counter it. Thalia, boo. Okay, well that kind of throws off my plan. Wait. Non-creature spells. Oh yeah, commit costs 5 now. I'll let the damage through. Let's see if they cast anything on a Censor. No. I'm going to try commit. Let's commit to Thalia. Since it's the end step, they won't be able to recast it. Even if they counter the spell. Exile, then return to the battlefield. Okay. So, their Thalia dodges my commit. I'm okay with that. The whole point was to get memory available to me. It's unfortunate that it's going to cost more mana. Okay, let me think. So I can cast Narset, and I'll have enough mana left over to cast a Haze of Pollen to protect the Narset if I need to. I'm not going to get a card with my Narset. I'm going to force my opponent to attack Narset down. The opponent is able to exile and return a creature. They do this to get another human. They have to cast another mana for it. Ephemerite's a pretty good card. Not familiar with that one. Okay. Yeah, for 1 mana you get 2 bounces out of it. That's not bad. Okay, Skyclave Apparition. Is that gonna work? Non-land, non-token, permanent. Okay, well, that's not great because they can exile my Narset now, and I can't protect it because I have a Censor and I have 1 mana open. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I still have much to learn.
Not much point in casting Haze of Pollen to protect myself from 2 damage. Okay, so the commit memory combo just kind of got thrown out the window. Let's get this into play tapped. Memory is a sorcery. Should I just cast it now? Okay, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It uses up all my mana to cast memory. Let's just do it. Get a fresh 7. Fabled Passage, Breeding Pool, Root Snare to put things off, and Explore. Boy, that Thalia. Ugh. That's such a pain in the butt. It's a legendary creature, so you can't double it up, at least. Meddling Mage. Okay, what are you gonna say I can't cast now? Narset. No Narset. Oh, the joke's on you, I don't have one. Let's see. So let's get a Fabled Passage out. Let's grab an island. Narset and Memory are in exile. Oh, Narset's under the Skyclave Apparition. Okay. So Brainstorm's an instant, Root Snare, Tail's End. Let's just do an Explore. It's the one spell we have that's not an instant, so we'll just cast it now. I don't know if there's anything crazy I want to do right now. Let's just thin the lands out by doing another Fabled Passage. Okay, I have 1 basic land left, the Forest. Okay, I have 7 mana available. 3 for a Root Snare to keep me from dying. Another 3 for Tail's End or a Censor or Brainstorm. Cloud Shift. Okay, we're gonna get another human. So, going against a deck that keeps me from doing things. Keeps me from having Narset. Keeps me from casting spells. Keeps me from casting spells cheaply. Okay. Root Snare. If they counter the Root Snare, I've got 1 shot to counter the counter. Okay. I take no damage. Okay. But the Root Snare is just delaying the inevitable. I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of solution. Scry, okay. I could have technically countered that Scry, but I'm not interested in doing that right now. Let's Brainstorm. I can put back some lands. Yeah, let's put back the lands. Is this important to me? No. Put Breeding Pool on top. Valley Temple Mystery can scry something I don't know. So I cycle the Censor. Yeah. Ephemerate again. Okay, interesting. Are you going to say that I can't cast something else then? I don't really know why you're doing this. No, Ugin. Okay. I don't even know if I have an Ugin in my deck. Do I have an Ugin in my deck? No. Okay, so I'm okay with that. Let's cycle the other sensor. Another Lotus Field. Okay, let me think. Search for Skanta. That at least gives me a Surveil every upkeep. That's priceless. I have a Haze of Pollen, so I'm not dead on board right now. Should I cast the Lotus Field? I think not cast. Takes it into play. Yeah, let's get her some tapped lands. Okay, I've got a lot of mana right now. I have 9 cards in my graveyard, so I'll be able to flip the Search for Skanta next turn. And thanks to that, that means that I can start digging in my deck for fast effects. Let's see. Non-creature, non-land card. Okay, so I could even get a Narset. This player can't cast more than one non-creature spell each turn. Okay? Boy, they're really into keeping me from doing things. Okay, Haze of Pollen. No damage. I guess I'm keeping them from doing things too. So next turn, I have to dig for some kind of fog-like effect. I don't need that right now. Transform. Let's start off by exploring. Let's see. Oh, right. Placing a land. Let's place the Temple of Mystery. Root Snare. Just what I need. So, let's get that down. Tapped is fine. Okay. Why can't I cast Growth Spiral? I already cast a spell this turn. Okay. So, search for Skanta. Good thing I'm not dead. Because, yeah, keeping me from casting that Growth Spiral could have just killed me. But thankfully I was able to use Skanta's special ability to grab the Root Snare and not die. Here's Call. Whew. Okay. They get even more stuff on there. Alright. Is there a reason I'm not able to cast Root Snare? Oh, they changed it to Root Snare. I wasn't paying attention. Well, the end. Oh, because they saw the Root Snare. Okay. Well, I didn't do the fun combo that time. Let's try that again. My goal is to have a Narset on the table and cast Memory. I don't really know what else this deck does. Like, there's a win condition in here at some point, right? Shark Typhoon. There's a single Shark Typhoon. Is that the win condition? I mean, I guess. I guess that's the Shark Typhoon. Okay. Alright. Exchange the vessel. Okay. So they're probably going to sacrifice it. Root Snare's good. I think I'm going to pay 2 life to play my Breeding Pool. And that way I'll have the mana to counter something censored. Okay, lots of little 1/1s. Pay 2 life. Actually, I should get Skanta in. I didn't really need to pay 2 life there. I could have just played a Forest. Alright. Triton. Put that in the graveyard. I gotta fill up my graveyard to flip my Skanta. So I want to Narset in play. I also want to be able to play a Root Snare or a Haze of Pollen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna explore. Okay, that worked out for me. get an island. Okay, so now I can start casting spells that protect me. Let's do the root snare, because I can cycle the Hazel Poem. Theoretically, I probably won't. Probably use it. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's just put that in the graveyard. Shark Typhoon. If I hard cast a Shark Typhoon, is there anything they can do about it? I'm not sure. So let's... You know, I don't think I'm interested in countering spells right now. I think I'm just going to cycle a Censor. Try to get a land, good. Drop an island in the forest. Still leaves enough mana for a Haze of Pollen. Oh, and that puts more stuff in my graveyard. I've got 8 cards in there now. So I'll be able to flip the search for his content. Okay, let's do another Haze. Oh, I think I see it now. If I cast the Shark Typhoon as an enchantment, every other non-creature spell I cast is going to put a flying shark in play. And I'll just get Bazillion Veto. Okay, I need this. Let's keep it. Transform. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm theoretically able to cast the Shark Typhoon. 1, 2, 3, 5. But I might be dead if I do it. That's a lot of damage out there. So let's do a Narset. Because the Haze of Pollen will protect my Narset also. Activate. There's another Narset there. I see an Explore. Back up Narset. Okay. Let's end the turn. We'll cast a Haze of Pollen, put it off again. I think this is the right deck for me. I'm really good at putting things off in real life. What is this weird skull thing? Yep, your creatures are just going to sit back. Not do much. Loris. Okay. Another Haze of Pollen, nice. Alright. I need more lands.
Meditate and prepare.
So let's cycle the Censor and hope for land. Good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more land to be able to cast Shark Typhoon and also have mana for a Haze of Pollen. I don't think Tail's End's going to do much good for me right now. Let's see, 3, let's just, yeah, Haze of Pollen there. This is probably kind of a frustrating deck to play against. Next turn I can cast my replacement Narset and dig for some kind of Haze of Pollen Root Snare type thing. I probably started casting those too early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess I need a Root Snare and a land. Okay. Guy's Ghost Form, that doesn't bother me. I just figure you're gonna do some damage to me. 2 damage. Oh, 4 damage, and they gain 2 life. Okay, that's an interesting trick. Okay, my turn. Gotta search for his content. So let's get another Narset out. I want to keep this Narset. Dig for a Brainstorm, I guess. I don't want to use my content for the Brainstorm. Although, Yeah, this isn't good. Sure. I think I'm just dead. I think I'm just dead. Because I can dig for a root snare, but I can't cast it. Yeah, I'm dead. Goodbye. Okay, so that deck, like, it dirtles around a lot, but it just doesn't move fast enough. It's too slow. So, unless I'm going up against a really slow deck that doesn't really do anything in a while, which you don't really find in Historic, then I'm not going to do the Narset commit thing. Narset memory, I mean. Jeskai control. This is going to be, quite likely, the most powerful deck I'm playing today. Tier 1. What do we got? Narset, bunch of lands. Yeah, right. Lead in with a Triome. Island Mountain Plains, so that means the Ardenvale comes into play untapped. Slitherblade cannot be blocked. Okay. I guess we'll just get this in tapped. Linsane. So you're gonna do a bunch of unblockable stuff? Is that your thing? Curiosity. Interesting. So they're gonna draw a card every time it gets through. Which is every time it attacks. Okay. Wind Robber. Prismari Command. Yep. I'm going to cast Prismari Command. Drop this land so I don't have to pay any life. So let's do 2 damage. And let's create a treasure token. Okay. So this dies. I get a treasure. Get rid of their card advantage. Also, by destroying a creature, that might make them think that I don't have a board wipe, and I do have a board wipe. So, let's see if we can get them to commit a lot more creatures to the board that are just getting wiped away. Sea Dasher Octopus? Okay. Another way to draw more cards. When someone has a way to draw cards... Oh, they got my Lightning Helix. Ouch. I guess I could get it with Mizzix, but I'd like to overload Mizzix, where you basically cast every card in your graveyard. But for now, I think, yeah, I'm just going to take 2 damage and Wrath the board, because they have a card draw mechanic on there. Let's see, I'm going to create another little creature with another way to draw extra cards. No? Ah. That makes me think that they are going to try to counter whatever I cast. So let's try Narset. I don't want them to counter the Teferi. Teferi needs to stay on the board for a while. Well, yep, there's the counter. Unfortunately, I can't cast 2 Narsets. Another way to draw cards. But if you draw cards with your Spectral Sailor, that means you can't do anything else. Of course, maybe that's their backup. If they don't want to do anything else, they might as well just draw a card. That's smart. Do you have another counter? Just gotta keep memory lapsing my Narset over and over again. Right around the time of M20, there was a deck just like this, with a bunch of like 1-mana creatures, ways to protect them, and ways to draw cards. It didn't have memory lapse, and it didn't have Slitherblade, but it did have something kind of like Curiosity. It had a bunch of pirates. Anyway, okay, so they memory lapsed me again. Do they have a third memory lapse? Let's find out. Let's see. But if they don't, I would have been glad to have cast Teferi instead of Narset. Let's just try it. Unsubstantiated, of course. If I had one more land, this would be way less painful for me, because I'd be able to double spell. But I can't, because they keep... Actually, I guess this time I do get to draw a card from the top of my deck instead of just redraw something I already had. Let's see. Do they have it? What do you think? If I try to cast a Teferi and they bounce it, then I can't recast it. I'm going to try a Mastery now and just try to get the Lightning Helix back. Or should I do the Prismari Command and get another treasure? Let's go... Actually, no. Let's go for another treasure. If they don't counter this, I'll just do 2 damage to the Spectral Sailor and create a treasure token for myself. That'll give me 6 mana total, so I'll be able to double spell. Just cast 2 Narsets if they counter one of them. Well, how much do you like your Spectral Sailor? The other option was to gain 3 life. Another bounce. Okay. Okay. They emptied out their hand. Okay. Of course they can draw. And now, yet again, I'm in the position of not knowing whether they have a counterspell or not. But I got to draw... Let's see. Got to draw a land at least, so I don't have to use up all my treasures every time I try to cast a fairy. Let's try it. Do I want Teferi? Or do I want Mastery? Actually, I think I want Mastery and Wrath of God, just to clear everything up. Let's try it. This will get both of their sailors. Unless they counter it. Do you have another counter? Okay. The opponent says, you don't get to have fun. I get all the fun. I mean, at some point they have to whiff, right? Like, there's gonna come a time. There we go. Okay. I mean, they knew I was gonna draw this. They knew I was gonna be able to cast the Wrath of God. I don't know why they played all their creatures. Because they can't counter it now. That was not very bright. Okay. Time for me to take over the game. What you got? Okay, a 1/2 unblockable. That does not scare me. So, my job now is to protect my life total and do Teferi things. Should I put away their Slither Blade? I think so. I'm not going to get ahead by plusing Teferi, because they can just minus it by attacking it. Okay. Let's plus the Teferi and draw a card. Oh, right. Plusing draws a card, so I would have gotten ahead of doing that. Anyway. Let's get a Narset out. Oh, yeah. They ran out of toys, so they're done. It's understandable. I mean, for a second I was feeling like, well, you gotta do all your stuff. How come I didn't get to do my stuff? But when you're an aggressive deck and you run out of all your toys, like, you might as well just drop out. What's next? Got a Teferi, got a Mizzix, and a Magma Opus. That's a good combo. Okay. So, let's get the Triumph out first. Good way to start. So Magma Opus, you can pay 2 mana and discard it to create a treasure token. Then you can use Mizzix Mastery to cast this 8 mana spell from your graveyard. Okay, now I get the memory lapse. So let's do this. I've got a Mountain and a Plain, so this comes into play untapped. Let's discard Magma Opus, create a treasure. That gives me an option to later on Mizzix it out of the graveyard. The other option would have been to keep Memory Lapse up just to counter something they cast. Mox Amber. Okay, that doesn't do anything yet. Emery. Now it does something. Okay, so what do you do? Artifact shenanigans. That's what they do. Let's see. Can pay life to put these into play untapped. I mean, I could just... Yeah, I could kill Emery and make a 4/4. I like that idea. So let's get this out. Pay life. Cast Mizzix's Mastery. We're going to pull the Magma Opus out of the graveyard and cast it. So we get to do 2 different things. 3 different things. Oh, that's ridiculous. I didn't notice you draw cards. Okay, so 2 targets. Tap 2 permanents. 2 damage to you, 2 damage to you. And then I also make a 4/4 and draw 2 cards. That's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever cast a Magma Opus. That's ridiculous. Baral, Chief of Compliance. Whenever they counter a spell, they can loot, aka draw and discard. And they just cast Seize the Spoils to loot, aka draw and discard. They have 1 mana available. Okay, this comes into play untapped. Let's see. Let's start off by attacking, just to see what they do. Okay. So I'm going to play this. It comes into play untapped. I'm going to Lightning Helix their Baral. Deny them the ability to cycle through their cards. And I have a Memory Lapse up now. Meaning to say I can cast Memory Lapse. Next turn, I probably pay 2 life and play this untapped. Cast Magic Fairy. Goblin Electromancer doesn't scare me. You can have that. Is there anything else you want to cast? Once Teferi's in play, that opens up the ability to counter things. Because his +1 draws me a card, and then I get to untap 2 lands at the end of the turn. Okay, so let's see. They're able to do something. They have 4 mana available. And their spells cost 1 less, so they're able to cast a 5 mana spell. I'm left wondering if I want to cast a fairy or not. I should probably just be patient and sit back on my counter spells. I have 2. Let's do that. I'm doing 4 damage, they're doing 2 damage. They can't do this forever. So can I discard and treasure Magma as an instant? Let's find out. Mizzix's Mastery on the Seize the Spoils. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, they're just cycling through stuff. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the payoff. I'm going to counter the payoff. Grape Shot. Ah, interesting. So they got a storm effect on Grape Shot. Is that their win condition? Is that they just cast a Grape Shot that copies itself a bazillion times? Faithless Looting. Okay. So how many spells have they cast this turn? Like 2 so far? Because the benefit of Storm is that if it copies a spell a bunch, and I think I can only counter one of the copies of a spell if they cast a bazillion. So let's drop this for a treasure. Let's see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now I can cast a fairy, and I have a Memory Lapse up. So if they try to do anything tricky on my turn, I can counter it. I plus a fairy, which means that I'll be able to do tricky stuff on their turn without using the treasure. Now, do I attack or do I protect the Teferi? Let's attack. Let's untap some lands. Let's do blue. Okay. I mean, they'll probably attack my Teferi, I'm guessing. Of course, they have to start thinking about protecting their life total. They only have 6. Mind's Desire. Shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Storm. Mizzix's Mastery on the Mind's Desire. I'm going to say no. No. No, you don't get to cast Mizzix's Mastery. Only I get to cast Mizzix's Mastery. They have mana to cast another Mizzix. I have mana to cast a Memory Lapse. It's almost like you could say I saw it coming. Now that just puts it off for a turn, though. That doesn't remove it from the game. I mean, it doesn't put it in the graveyard. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Oh. I know what I want to do. I'm going to attack. If they don't block... Okay, they block. Alright. Let me think. Are they going to get to do their tricky thing? Let's bust a fairy. Let me think. I'm going to cast this now. And draw. And try to draw into a counterspell. So, let's do 2 damage to the opponent. Let's draw and discard 2. Okay. Counterspells, please. No? Okay. Drop the Wrath and the Teferi. Okay. I'm going to cast a Narset. And I'm going to try to dig for a counterspell.
My prowess is unmatched by my
The opponent has one more turn to do something truly ridiculous. And Narset whiffs. So I'm going to put some stops on my opponent's turn to make it look like I might have a counterspell. They get to cast Mizzix's Mastery on their Mind's Desire. So what does that mean? What's going to happen? It just has a storm count of 1, so they do 2 things. Okay, they get to do 2 things. One's a mountain. That's no good. The other thing is another land. They're dead. I don't think there's anything else they can do. That was pretty interesting. I thought that their big storm thing was just gonna like completely annihilate me. Because when we're playing Historic and you let the opponent do a bunch of stuff without being able to counter anything and it's late in the game, like there's no telling what kind of nonsense they're gonna be up to. But yeah, they whiffed and got 2 lands. So it doesn't matter that I whiffed with my Narset. I like this Jeskai control deck. It's really strong. Okay, I've got Counter Magic. I've got Lightning Helix. So I'm able to respond to aggro by doing damage and gaining life. I'm able to respond to control in mid-range by countering stuff. I've got a Gearhulk to get something back out of my graveyard. I've got a nice selection of lands. 2 of which will enter into play untapped. Yeah, let's get this untapped. That leaves up 3 of my spells. Brainstorm. I'm not going to counter the Brainstorm. By itself, Brainstorm doesn't really do anything. It's a catalyst, an enabler. Okay. They're just gonna like stare at each other. Yeah. Glacial Fortress. Do nothing. I guess I should have played this tapped. I don't know if it really matters. If my opponent's just Jeskai control also, which it looks like they are, there might be a lot of nothing going on for a while. It's a bit unfortunate that I didn't get my Magma Opus Mythic's Mastery combo this time around. Control, control. Control deck's doing control stuff. Let me see. Is there a point where I'm going to lose patience for the staring match? The answer is yes. What's my goal? I think my goal is to draw Teferi and then have enough mana to protect it. Where are my maps? Okay. Yeah, lots of memory problems in my head. Do I memory lapse or do I veto it? Let's memory lapse it. Search for Escanta isn't terribly threatening by itself. Okay, anything else? No? There's the Teferi, but I can't protect it, so I'm not going to cast it. I especially can't protect against... actually, it might just be one mana, or one counter spell if they have 3 mana. If they have 4 mana open, then that's 2 counter spells I might be going up against. Let's put them off again. If I can draw an untapped land, I'll be in really good shape. Because I'll be able to cast a fairy and have a veto to protect it. No? I mean, that's not bad. Get my own search for Escanta. Are they going to counter that? Oh, I can't counter Dovin's veto, so that goes in my graveyard. Well, I'm going to do the same thing to them then. You don't get that. No. If I can't have it, no one can. They might have another one in their hand. Nothing. Okay. Magma Opus. Yes. Discard, create a treasure token. Let's just try this. Are you going to counter this? Absorb? Okay. I'm okay with that. I think what I want to do is cast a Torrential Hero and get the Magma Opus out of my graveyard. But I really don't want them to counter that. Oh, their own Teferi. Okay, this is good.
I know what must be done.
This is good. Because unless they have a Mystical Dispute, or what's that other 0 mana counter spell? Oh no, they get to untap too. Blast. Well, let's try this. If this doesn't work, I might just concede. Okay, I'm gonna get Magma Opus. Okay. We're gonna do 4 damage to Fairy. We're going to tap their lands. Okay. Are they gonna counter this? If they wanted to counter something, they would have countered the Gear Hulk, so I'm guessing they can't. Okay. Brainstorm. So the Teferi's still alive, unfortunately. If I had one more mana open, I would have cast a Lightning Helix on it, but unfortunately, couldn't do it. Unless they can get rid of both of my creatures, though, I'll be able to attack him. So, my shields are down, so to speak. Even if I had a counter spell, I wouldn't be able to cast it. Don't have the mana for it. So the question for Garame is, can you do something about my creatures? Yes. Okay. I can do something about their Teferi. Unless they counter it. Okay. Let's see. Let's try a Lightning Helix on their Teferi. And I'm kind of hoping that they counter this so that I can cast my Prismari Command. Because I'd rather have the Prismari Command take effect. Okay, they're protecting their Teferi. Now, casting Prismari Command, and if they counter this, then I'm so far behind. Of course, I think they would have countered that Gear Hulk, so I'm guessing they don't have any. Cool. Draw 2. Drop the lands, I get now? I'll drop the Wrath of God. That's not doing anything for me. Their Teferi's gone. I play a land. Okay. I've got a Mizzix's Mastery open. So I'll be able to do... Oh, did I already exile the Magma Opus? I did. Okay. So Mizzix can get me instant or sorcery. Okay. Prismari. Do I want to Mizzix anything? I can Mizzix the Search for Iskanta. The opponent didn't want me to have that. Let's try it. Can I overload it? I mean, they're going to counter this for sure, right? If they don't counter it, it's going to get ridiculous. Okay, well, if you have it, please counter it. Don't make me wait. If you have the counter and you make me wait that long, then that's just trolling. Okay. I mean, I guess that's the only thing I wanted to do. Yeah. 2 damage to the opponent. Yeah. What a sad, overloaded Mizzix's Mastery. Anger of the Gods. No. Lightning Helix, I guess? Okay. I need something good. I think I need a permanent. Instants and sorceries aren't really doing me much because there's nothing to get rid of. Well, now there is.
Right on schedule. Let's skip to the good part.
So envious. The opponent had 2 Teferis. Here's my Teferi. Let's see what they do. So do they have stuff that does damage? I'm not really seeing much of that. Absorb. I think I'm out. That's enough, like, sitting around not doing anything to test my patience too much. Overall, that was entertaining.